there's a lot of like behind the scenes work that you kind of have to do before you officially announce, hey, I'm ready, come and buy from my brand. I say do all of those, but at the same time, don't wait too long to start. It feels like it's been ages since I actually sat down and did like a this intimate type of content, and it feels a little bit weird but very needed, very needed. Oh god, English is that very needed. I see my community as a group of people who have grown up with me. Like I started this channel in my 20s and I'm now mid 30s, so I just like doing videos like this to kind of like reconnect, touch base, and align with you guys, because it's kind of easy to just get into the workflow of DIY, content, sponsorships, collaborations without actually working on that connection that I have with you guys. Here we are doing a Q&A to catch up again. It's been 8 months since I did my last one, so we're just going to get straight into it. But if this is your first time seeing me, hi, my name is Priscilla. I'm an Nigerian women's wear designer based in the UK, and I create sort of like fashion design, pattern tutorials, entrepreneurship, and lifestyle content here on the channel. And this is our 9th year doing this, and I'm so thankful for a career that allows me to be flexible around being a mom and a wife and a human in essence. So let's just get straight into these questions, because some of them are actually really good. Really good. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to share that on the 6th of December, I'm going to be having a Christmas market with the Business Hut and other business owners in Greenwich. The venue is up the creek from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I'll mostly be selling Adire bundles, Ankara bundles, accessories, and then some sample bubbles and robes. So make sure to drop by, say hi, and support the brand. If you are in London on the 6th of December, it's a Saturday if I remember correctly. So come say hi, let's take pictures. I always love meeting my K-divas in real life. It's always so nice to put a face to the name, and your support is something that I don't take for granted. So I can't wait to see you guys on the 6th. Make sure to drop by if you're free, and yeah, let's get straight to the video. Okay, let's start from the first question, which is from Florence Udonte 9840, and the person says, I like you so much because you're a teacher. Please come up with details on pants, trouser, thanks. I actually have a pants or like trouser pattern tutorial. I think I have one that I did where I traced around like a pair of jeans, and then I have one that actually showed how to make the pattern from scratch, which is something that I really like to do every now and again. So I'm going to leave a list of links of things I mentioned in this video in the video description down below, so go check that out. I've done a tutorial for pants, both the pattern and then the sewing, and then my most recent tutorial, which was like a pair of culottes, actually shared how to make that pattern from scratch. So that's another like pants style option that you can try if you want to like create pants or trousers for yourself or for your business. Okay, Genevieve 8784. Good day, ma. My question is, how do I monetize and start my fashion business? I'm currently learning, so my sewing skills and design skills can be strong to some level. With fashion design, I say it's something that's experience based, because it's like the more you know, the better you become, and the more you you feel more confident. It's kind of like driving. Like if you know what you're doing, you're more confident. You're also more like you stand behind your prizes more, because you know what you know the value that you are bringing through your design, through your skills, through whether it's pattern, whether it's sewing, whatever you decide to do. So the second part of this question was, how do you monetize your if I read it correctly, how do I monetize and start my fashion business? So do you want to have your own label? Like, do you want to sell your own designs, or do you want to work as someone who does made to order like projects? So like Ashwebi styles, custom commission. So if someone has an event, you come up with design for them and then you make it. So what kind of business do you want to run? You really have to think about that. And it's okay to change your mind if in a couple of years you discover, actually, I don't want to do this thing, I want to do that thing, or I want to focus on only bridal, or I want to focus on only tailoring. That you can decide as you go along the way, but have a think about what area of fashion you want to work in and just start. I like to say this, just start, because there are some things that you would never feel prepared to do. Start small. Start with just making the one thing, or with just the one client, because from you actually like starting and putting yourself out there, people are going to discover you. Open your Instagram account, post your work online, talk about yourself, blow your own trumpet, because nobody else will blow it for you. Like, you have to show up for yourself if you actually want people to support your business. Believe in yourself the way you want somebody else to believe in you, which can be really hard to do from the beginning, but you kind of need to get into that mindset if you want to build a business that would last. Next question here is from Oko Blessing 6169. Please, how can I master my patterns very well? Thank you. Pattern making requires a lot of patience and a lot of practice. I'm never going to come and tell you that I know everything. There are some garments that I'll look at and I'll still be like, I don't know how they did that section. I know how they did here, but not there. So it's like the more things you try out, the wider your knowledge and your experience will be. Like I mentioned earlier on with sewing, pattern making is a similar kind of journey. Yes, there are some people who are just naturally very quick at catching up stuff, or they are really good at looking at the design and figuring out how it was made, but a lot of us did not know anything from the beginning. Like my first basic bodies, I didn't even think that pattern is even perfect, but I had to start there to get to where I am today, where I can like draft a suit pattern, make a suit, or make a corset, or make a gown, or make a pair of gloves, you know, all these different types of garments. So you have to practice and practice and practice. If you don't want to even do like very complicated styles, start with things that are really simple, like a t-shirt or a circle skirt. I have a whole playlist on my channel for beginner projects, beginner patterns. So start from there, make them from scratch. And once you've made a few projects, you actually start to realize, okay, so if I want to make the neckline shaped this way, I need to bend my pattern master this way, or my French curve this way, or I need to turn the curve in this direction. But you will not know that until you actually try out different garment types. Like experience and practice are your best friends if you want to definitely get better at pattern making. Chidima Ama 4628. I don't know why the names always have numbers attached to it. I think it's like a YouTube thing. But Chidima is asking, good day ma, please, how can I get and retain customers that can pay me my worth? Very good question, since I'm still using my house as a shop. And what is the best app for invoice in general? How can I rebrand my fashion business? So these are like 3 questions. How can you get and retain customers? Get customers to pay you your worth, invoice, and rebrand. So like 4 questions in there. So, and we'll just take it one at a time. So getting and retaining customer, which is like customer acquisition. If you are someone who you're already doing something, so you're doing something from your house, which is the best place to start, because you don't have to pay rent if you are in a shop, or you don't have to think about all these like extra fees if you were in a building or somewhere outside of your home. So you're already saving costs. Kudos on you. I actually don't shame anybody that works from home, because I do myself, and it's a smart way to start until you get to the point where you can afford to pay rent or go to like a space for your business. So you're already doing something, you already have customers. There are a few things that you can do to retain your customers, to keep them coming back and to find more. I say have somewhere where you keep your customer details, whether that is you collecting their emails through newsletters, or you have like a WhatsApp number where you can reach out to them. This is like your work phone, but you want to maintain communication. The relationship you have with your customer is one that you need to keep nurturing. You can't just serve them once and expect them to remember you. Yes, some people might remember you, but others you need to kind of remind them like, I'm here, I'm still in business, I still do this thing that I do. So if you are not already collecting emails and sending newsletters, why? It's literally a free way to maintain that connection and communication with your customer. So emails, newsletters, definitely yes. Then if you have social media accounts, you want to stay active. You want to keep connecting with your customers, proving to them and proving to yourself that you are still in business, you're still showing up. Another thing that really helps is based on what performed best in the past, maybe designs, collections, it might be worth creating projects similar to that in the future. So if you had a skirt that sold really well last year, maybe you can create like a 2.0 version of that skirt, so people who bought it the last time can come back and buy the same design again, or maybe do it in a different fabric, or do an elevated, updated version of it, so someone who purchased the first time, they will come back again, but they most likely will come back again and buy the same design if they wanted to, because they liked it that much. Another thing that might work in terms of like lead generation, which is essentially what acquiring new customers is you might want to create something of value to attract the kind of customer that you want. So this could be, let me try and use my business for example. If you're someone who makes dresses, or you sell clothing, or ready to wear for women, what can you create of value that would reach that ideal customer that you are trying to reach? Is this you creating a lookbook of your existing products to give them an idea of how they will style it? Is this you creating some kind of, because I remember seeing the brand do this and I thought it was actually really cool. They paired their outfits to places like that you could go have food. So there was like an outfit that I could wear for brunch, an outfit that I could wear for dinner, an outfit that I could wear for a date. So it gave you an idea of where you could potentially wear their products. So that's something of value to me, because if I wanted to go on a date and I didn't know where to go, I remember seeing, oh, this brand actually suggested this really cool brunch place. Like they actually listed the restaurant, which I thought was really, really clever. So that's something else that you could do to actually like potentially connect with customers, your ideal customer, because that's actually important, to connect to your ideal customers, to bring them on board to support your brand. There are a few other parts to this question, and one of them was the best app for invoice. So there are certain apps that are attached to your bank account, and because I'm in the UK, there is a app called Free Agent that comes with, I think it's NatWest account. So that one I know of. Free Agent is one that is quite popular. Another one is Zero, so like Zero, I think that's how you spell it. Zero is actually quite great. Another one is QuickBooks. But these are like proper bookkeeping apps that you can generate an invoice with, and it kind of like connects everything together. So if you start using one app, you kind of like are able to see all your invoices in one place, easy to do your accounting as well. If you have to do your taxes, it makes your life a whole lot easier, especially if you're just like a solopreneur like me. We want to simplify things as much as possible. And then the final part of this question is, how can I rebrand my fashion brand? Ooh, I think you first need to answer what is currently not working in your business, and do you have a solution for that? Because that would be one of the ways that your rebrand could happen. So maybe it could be you are attracting the wrong customer and you want to rebrand to be more, I don't know, more premium, more luxury, or you want to rebrand to be more targeted at a specific size group, maybe just plus size or just kids. I think you first need to answer what is currently not working and what is the solution that you're going to provide to that. Once you answer that question, the solutions would, it's not like they will magically appear, but the dots will actually start connecting. So say for example, you are kind of catering to everybody and you're struggling to really identify who your target customer is, because it feels like you're just talking to a crowd. So one of your rebrand questions could be, okay, which target audience do I want to actually focus on? And then once you've narrowed it down to that target audience, is okay, this type of target audience, are they more premium shoppers? Are they more high street shoppers, people who like affordable clothing? Are they people who are working class ladies, people who are students? You see where I'm going with this? The moment you answer all those questions, it helps to shape your rebrand plan. And then your rebrand also could be something that is visual. Do you want to change logos, fonts, colors, and all those things? Then do you want to change your tone of voice? Do you want to be more friendly, approachable? Your tone of voice could be like one of the rebrand tools that you could like really fine tune for your business. But sit down and ask yourself those questions, and with the solutions, you pick out elements that you could use to now reshape and rebrand your business in the future. The next one here is from Maddie Mills AP, and she says, not a question, just wanted to say you look gorgeous as usual. Thank you so much, Maddie. It's actually quite sweet. Thank you. The next one here is from Nakimuli Judith 8024. Greetings, Kim. My question is, what's the best way to separate personal and business finances as a self-employed person? Thank you. Have 2 separate accounts. I'm just sorry, like if you're someone who, like, at the end of the month you have to think about, where did the money go? What did I spend the money on? Just have 2 separate accounts. Or if the accounts can allow you to have separate pots, because I know some bank accounts can let you do that, like where you have the main account and then you have like a reserve account where you can put business money, and then one where you can put like personal spending money. Because when you're self-employed in the UK, you and your business, you are the same entity. If someone sues your business, they're technically suing you. You're the sole proprietor. So I have two accounts. I have one where my business money goes in and out, and then at the end of every month, I pay myself a salary. Even though when you're self-employed, you don't really pay yourself a salary, but I pay myself a salary, and now my salary is technically called just drawings out of the business, like when you're doing accounting. But that is where I now go and make my hair. I do my nails. I go to the movie. I buy my Nando's. I do all the things that I want to do for myself. And I just find it a lot easier to separate my spending that way. So if I'm going to the fabric shop, I'm bringing up my business account to pay for that fabric because it's a fabric I'll use for a YouTube video, which is business, or a fabric I'll use for a customer, which is business. But if I am going into Boots to buy lip gloss, I'm going to pull out my personal card and just spend that there. So that's how I'm able to separate it, and it works for me, and that's what I plan to keep doing until further notice, personally. This is such a valid question, and I think I got the same question in the last Q&A I did, but I genuinely see why people are curious about this. Jessica Olorotoba 1121 says, "Good day, ma'am. My question is, how do you do it with your baby? Because my life is on the line and I don't want to take him to crash now because he's 9 months old. Help. My dear, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Maria did not start nursery until she was 10. I think she was 11 months. So we waited a while as well because I'm so attached to her. She's my only child. So me and her were like 5 and 6, and her dad is really like attached to her too. So we did not put her into a crash on time. We did not put her into nursery on time. Also, because I am self-employed, I'm at home a lot. So it didn't really make a lot of sense up until a certain point that I was like, okay, I want to get back into work. I want to start earning, I want my business to start earning more money. I want things to start picking up again. So what we've done, and I think is one of the good things about the UK government, even though there are many things that I'm like, but one good thing is they have funding, 30 hours funding for childcare here. So you get like 30 hours free from the government if you meet like a bunch of eligibility criteria. So that's what we've done. We have her in childcare for 3 days a week. She's there. So those 3 days a week, I am filming my videos, I'm editing my videos, I'm making my projects, I'm going for events. Literally, if I cannot do anything between Monday and Wednesday, don't even call me. Like I'm not available for the other days of the week. So that's how I'm able to do it at the moment, and it works for me. However, if you're someone who is in a country where you don't have that kind of structure, but you don't want to put your baby in nursery or crèche yet, support is important. I won't even lie to you. Like, anybody who is thriving in their business either has someone that is supporting them in caring for the child, either the person is coming to the house or they're taking the child somewhere. Because once the baby gets to a certain age, because at the beginning all they're doing is napping, they're just sleeping all the time, but once they get to that age where they're becoming more self-aware, and you as a parent, you want to interact with your child. You can't just let them be there laying down or sitting down and you're here working. You want to build that relationship and that bond. So support is really, really important. If you don't feel comfortable taking your child somewhere, are you okay with someone coming to the house? The person can be with the child in the next room. You can be doing your thing where you are. So that way you are still kind of like watching everything without your child leaving your line of sight. At one point you do have to, because it's necessary for them to interact with other kids, for them to get sick and build their immunity, because it's part of growing up. You just have to like get to that point. But until you feel ready taking them out, maybe it might be worth considering someone coming in to help you like care for your child. It could be a family member, it could be a friend. You could start off with just 1 day a week and see how you feel, see how much work you're able to do in that time frame. But yeah, I'm sorry, even at the beginning, my husband was the one that was really helping out a lot. But we got to a point where we just needed to have assistance with caring for Maria, so mommy could work, daddy could work, but we're still very actively in her life because we love our girl. We want to keep raising her right, but we need to work to provide for her. So yeah, if you don't want to take them to crash, maybe have someone come help you at home. See how that works. Let me know actually in the future. Like, I would like to know what you decide, because motherhood is very different for everyone, and I don't want to come and say one thing when I don't know what your actual real situation is. So I hope it goes well for you. I really hope it does. Ooh, how do you pronounce this name? Iwa the dressmaker. Am I right? Please correct me in the comment section down below if I said your name right. But the question says, please ma, how do I become very good in pattern drafting, like seeing a style and being able to replicate it? I already know the basics, but I just find it very hard to cut a style I see without watching a video or how it's done. Please help me, ma. It's very normal though, like especially if you're someone who maybe you're self-taught or you've only done a very limited number of styles. It's actually quite normal. It's like it's unfamiliar to you, except you're just like a crazy genius that you can just look at something and figure out how it's done. People are able to do that because they've done something similar in the past, or they have an idea of construction. So maybe they know how to make patterns, they know how to drape, or they have some type of residual knowledge that helps them figure out, oh, the neckline was probably done this way or that way. Like most of us, I will repeat it again, we did not arrive this world with the knowledge in our head. We had to learn it. So I say the first thing is, don't feel any type of way that, oh, you can't figure this out. Yeah, no, let's not do that. If anything, be like, okay, how can I learn that skill? Being able to look at something and figure out that that's how it was made, that's something that you have to build up on and work on. And like the similar question I answered earlier on is, if you want to get into pattern making, go and work with a pattern cutter. I'm someone that I really want to get into tailoring, like proper suits, hand stitched, like the proper Savile Row suit. That's a Roman empire for me, that if I have the opportunities, I don't mind going to Italy for like 3 months, just gonna work with a proper tailor and really learn how to make a proper suit. So if there's something you want to do, whether it's suit, draping, bridal, take that class, take that course, work with that person, because then you get to really see how it's done. And once you do a bunch of different styles, believe me, you would actually start to notice it, that you would look at the dress and be like, okay, the neckline is high, but it drops low. There's excess fabric here. So maybe when they were doing the pattern, they added extra there to make that drape happen. Or maybe they draped it on the mannequin to achieve such fluid, excellent drape. But you will not know that based on no experience. So learn, practice, and it will come naturally with time. Unknown 51 E5K, and the question says, what do you think of a made-to-order fashion brand? I'm thinking of starting a made-to-order brand, launching a collection of about 3 dresses, which I think is actually quite smart. What do you think? Do you think it's okay to start big, like launch it big, or should I just randomly start posting out of the blue? I don't think you have to start big, if I'm being entirely honest, especially if you don't have the plan to scale very quickly, which could become a problem if you're not ready to scale very quickly. If you just want to start with 3 dresses or even only 1, I've seen businesses that started with just the 1 dress, and that's how they grew and expanded with time. So it's really, really, really okay to start with just the 3 if you would like. And with posting out of the blue, I don't think I'll call it posting out of the blue. I think what it would rather be, start telling a story behind the dresses before the dresses are even shown to the world. So what's the purpose behind the brand? What's the vision behind the brand? Is there a way you can potentially see if the dress style that you're about to put out would appeal to your audience? So you could post pictures of you wearing the dresses, get people's thoughts on okay, do they like it, do they not? And this you can tell from comments, likes, shares, views. That's usually a gauge to see whether people are interested. So you want to definitely weigh out people's interest on the styles before you produce them or have them available for sale. So research is really, really important. And then I am a huge storyteller, because I think connecting to people's emotions will make your brand more memorable. So really think long, deep, and hard about the reason behind your brand, the vision, the mission. What is it that would make you stand out from any other brand that is already selling dresses? Is it going to be like the particular style of fabric you choose to work with? Is it the fact that maybe your dresses are made to order, which is already one USP? But what else? What other elements can you add to your brand that would really make it one of a kind? Because that is going to make you stand out from everybody else that already exists. Joyous Joy, hi Joy. Joyous Joy 2433. I just recognized the name. You know when someone has left so many comments on your channel that you start to recognize their names? That's one name I recognize. Hello Katie, sewing has been my passion. I want to turn this passion into a business. I make most of my dresses, so where do I start from? Ooh, congrats on taking the leap. That's actually quite cool. Round of applause. Where do you start? That's actually a very good question. If I were to start my brand all over again, what would I do differently? I definitely would start a lot smaller, because my first collection was 6 to 8 looks. I did not need to make that many looks. I think I would have started with the most unique or the most memorable design, because one, that would make your design more memorable when people encounter your business, and that could become a design that you're possibly known for, and then with time you can expand your range and offerings. So I think I would try and start out with a design that is really, really memorable, in addition to, the other things like that we talk about every now and again, like market research, who is your target audience, and then try and really curate like a brand that is not just visually, it's not one that people can connect to visually, which is like maybe logo, fonts, colors. You need to do those in addition to what's the tone of voice you want your brand to have. Where are you going to be selling your products, online or in person? So there's a lot of like behind the scenes work that you kind of have to do before you officially announce, hey, I'm ready, come and buy from my brand. I say do all of those, but at the same time, don't wait too long to start, because a lot of things that you will learn as a business owner, you learn on the job. You will never be fully prepared before you start. So start with your most iconic design. What else would I say? Who is your target audience? Who are you selling to? Oh, it's very, very important. And then what things would make you different, stand out from everyone else? I feel like this entire video had just been about what to do before you start a fashion business, because a lot of the questions are just kind of like connected to each other, thinking about it now. So that may be the title of the video, who knows? But yeah, so target audience is important. Who are you going to sell to? Where are you selling? And then please write a business plan. Let's not go into businesses anymore without writing business plans, because from you writing a business plan, you get to see firsthand if your idea is even viable, if it's something that will survive the market in 5 to 10 years. It's boring, I know it is so boring, oh my god, but it's very important. So do it, and in a couple of years you may need to revisit it, in a couple of months you may need to revisit it, but please write a business plan as well. That's super, super important. And then how are you going to fund your business? Are you going to get investment? Are you going to apply for grants, for loans? Are you going to bootstrap, which essentially you're using your own money to fund your business? But funding is pretty important, and you kind of need to start thinking about that earlier on. And then, do you want to do ready to wear or made to order? Like I said, this video really feels like all the questions are connected to each other, but a lot of the answers I gave earlier on might be something that will be of help to you if you want to actually start your business today. I'm going to link a few videos down below that I think you'll find useful, with like starting your brand, what could make you stand out, like any other videos that exist on the internet I think you'll find useful on the other channels as well. Just check the video description, and then you could just watch your way through, and hopefully you find something that'll be very, very helpful for you. Iyamu and Destiny, and the question is, I'm new to sewing and drafting. I have successfully drafted and cut my own button-down shirt. Well done. But right now the neck is very wide. How do I fix this? If the neck is too wide like this, it means if it's too wide this way, you need to make your shoulder higher. So you need to bring the shoulder closer to the neck. If it's too wide this way, you need to bring it higher to the neck this way. On the back, bring it higher as well. So if it's too wide overall, you definitely need to bring it closer. You need to bring it maybe closer by like ½ inch, and I see what that looks like. But you do need to bring it closer so that the gaping and the openness kind of like reduces overall. But that was actually a problem I had with my first couple of shirts. It was too open and too wide in the neck. So you do need to bring it closer to the neck, so it actually it's like nice and snug around your neck. That might be something that would help. Yeah, bring it closer to your neck on the shoulder seam. So like this way on this seam here, bring it closer, and then maybe bring it higher on the front. Yeah, bring it higher on the front as well. Then that might reduce like the overall openness of the shirt. Okay, the next question is from HabJR4454, and it says, it's good to hear from you, dear. I have my own tailoring shop, so sometime how do I improve fitting problem? Ooh, there are some amazing books I would actually recommend to get to fix common fit issues. There are two that I can think of the top of my head. I'm going to put them up on the screen. For some reason I can't remember the title of the book, but I know the image of the book. You know what, I'll put them on the screen here. There is this book, I'm going to link it as well, that is amazing for fit issues. Super helpful. So books are like one go-to place that if I'm not sure how to fix something, I'll just go and check these books to see if there's a solution in there. online tutorials are going to be very, very helpful. If you don't know how to fix certain like fit issues and you've not encountered them before, those two things I highly recommend to help you tackle the issue. My final question is totally Nana. The question is, what systems have you put in place as a self-employed person to ensure that you always or mostly have money coming in? Whew. Do you know why this question is actually quite great? Because this is a conversation I had with my husband recently and something that I have been actively working on and leaning to. I think the first thing is your mindset. You are self-employed, which means that you kind of work job to job, or if you're so fortunate, you might have a series of projects with the same brand, the same customer. So maybe for like 3-4 months, you are sure of money coming in. But there'll be those times where you're just like, this month, what is happening? There's nothing coming through. Like, you will have those moments. So is managing your money when you have jobs coming in so it stretches out to period that things are a little bit slower or quieter. And then what do you do in those your quiet times? That's very, very important, because it's easy to kind of feel like, oh, there's nothing happening for me, there's nothing I can do. But those quiet times, you could think about, what products can I work on? What can I do in my studio? What can I do better in this time that things are kind of quiet in essence? So for me, what I like to do when things are a bit quiet is I'm already brainstorming like PDF pattern designs for next year, events I can host, ebooks I can make. Like, I'm already thinking about next year, end of next year at this point. So you definitely want to plan in advance. It's very, very important, because we don't have the luxury of people who have salary employment, which is end of the month, they are guaranteed to get a specific amount. We have to think ahead of, okay, so if I need this amount of money to cover the running costs for my business, and then I need to pay myself this amount, I need to have a certain amount coming every month to cover all of these things. What can I do to ensure I earn that certain amount? So I'm already thinking, okay, I need to do at least one sponsorship every month. I need to cut down any excess expense that might eat into my business money. And then if I can negotiate with a brand to get multiple deals, so not just in one-off projects, it's like, okay, what if we do 2 to 3 projects together? I'll give you a specific rate. And then that way I already have money coming in for the next 2 to 3 months. You see what I mean? So you definitely have to plan in advance, and then think about what you can do when you have those quiet moments to create opportunities that will generate revenue for your business. Because yeah, we don't have the every month there's a specific amount of money. One month I might be making £10,000, the next month I'm making £100. So you really have to think about ways to keep that like stream of revenue or that amount at a level that covers your expenses and your lifestyle. And you want to have a little bit less, so when it's time to pay tax, you want to have a little bit left, so when it's time to pay taxes or any other things that you cannot really predict in the future, you have money there in your business to cover all of those costs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a really good one, really, really good one. It just felt like I was chatting with a friend, and I hope you found it helpful, inspiring. If I did not answer your question, because I'm filming this video on the, what day is it? On the 12th of November, and it most likely go up not too long after that. So if I didn't answer your question, you can leave it in the comment section down below, and I could potentially make it a dedicated video in the future, or just respond as a regular comment. But thank you so much for engaging. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the Kim Day family. Until my next video, have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are. Bye.